Thank you for reading my heart. I couldn't let today go by without sharing just a moment about Clay. His whole family, Lorraine, his other sisters. I worked with his sister for years in the restaurant before Unity and before Open Doors. But Clay has been a universal brother. And to me, the demonstration of Christ among us. He lived simply with his dedication and his example and an outreached hand to anyone near him and in any proximity to him, anything that was needed, he was the first to offer to help to step forward. Anyway, I wanted to celebrate his life. He had surely a Christ passing right into spirit. And I'm sure continues because together we're a family of oneness that are helping in this greater plan. And when we no longer need our body as he has, we lay it down, Thich Nhat Hanh, as Clay. And I very much appreciated today's daily word because in prayer we remember and we come into that experience of communion. And Clay was blessed with many revelations, as well as his own forgiveness and healing work. He had many direct experiences of himself as the living Christ. And in great humility, he lived that way. And I wanted to share that. And I know all of you know Clay and Lorraine, and I'm very grateful for this family of prayer and holiness. Even though I don't come very often, I'm on other things usually on Sunday. But I'm very grateful to you, Raleigh and Deb and everyone, Martine, everyone that keeps this family flicker, and of course, Carlos, that this light is always bright and shining for everyone. So, and for our brother Clay, say thank you, Clay. We love you. And thank you to this family that is gathered today to celebrate only the joy and the truth of what life is eternal. Amen. Thank you.
Wow, life is a mix. The great joy I'm feeling right now at being in the company of my sister, Vicky Poppy. The great joy. There's this place in me, my cup is running over with my gratitude for my sister, Vicky Poppy, for the light of the world as she is, for the blessing that I have received by being in her presence and having the light of the world as she is shined upon me. The blessing of knowing that my sister is with me on this walk, this earth walk where we are forwarding heaven on planet Earth, where we are shining the light, where we are remembering and reminding others of how blessed we are. And at the same time, my heart is pouring over with the great blessing this morning in this place to be in the presence of my sister, Vicky Poppy, who I love beyond words and appreciate beyond description. At the same time, my heart is running over with sadness for the news of my brother Clay. Not sadness that it is his time to take off his biodegradable spacesuit to reveal the fullness of his light and to step into the light. This child of God, so like Christ, I know where he is. I know he's free. It is his sister who my heart is sad for right now. The way Lorraine loves Clay, the way Clay loves Lorraine was a beautiful thing to witness. A beautiful thing to hear each of their testimonies for. They knew how blessed they were to have one another. to support one another and being all they could be. And so life is a mix. I am both filled with sadness, concern, connection with my sister Lorraine, whose brother is returned to the light and whose physical absence she will surely miss. My prayers go out to her in line with the Daily Words message. Wherever she is, may she know I am praying for you, and I am praying with you. Both of my feelings are sponsored by one foundation: love. I love Vicky Poppy. I love Clay. I love Lorraine. I love Ted. I love Deb. I love Raleigh. I love John. I love Bob. I love Cynthia. I love Esther. I love Nuri. I love Rosemary. I love each and every one of you. So my cup runneth over with love and with appreciation for having been reminded yet again that I am not here forever. This incarnation is not my destination. I am moving through and on and upward. If I did not believe life was everlasting, I would truly be distraught. But I know that I know that I know that I know life is forever. There is no death. And on that great getting up morning, like we used to say in the Pentecostal church, on that great getting up morning, when the saints of every nation get together, we're going to have a good time. We're going to sing and testify about how we got over, how we overcame our sense of separation from love itself, how we overcame our needs and reasons to fear, how we overcame our excuses and alibis for not being all we are called to be, how we overcame our willingness to hold judgment on any of God's children at any time for any apparent reason. Love has brought us here. We are a cloud of witnesses to how good God is. We have been dead before experientially, and we've always risen from the dead. We have one another forever in spirit. And in incarnation, we don't know how long. What greater incentive could I be given to continue to grow from grace to grace into higher, purer unfoldments of who it is possible for me to be, knowing I am here, but for a dash. Make your dash a dash of great significance. Love while you live, and live while you love. I am reminded constantly that I am my own project. I'm reminded constantly that if I am not on purpose, keeping my eye on the prize, I will be distracted, because the distractions of this world are many. They are seductive. It is easy to get pulled into doubt and fear and a sense of powerlessness. and a willingness to blame and to judge those we hold responsible for not doing their parts in forwarding heaven on planet Earth. It's easy to get distracted from this knowing I am my project. My consciousness is where I live. Although it appears that I live in the world, I live in my experience of the world. How grateful am I for the 5 unity principles that assist in keeping me on track. I wonder how many people in how many churches have as their single meditation time the meditation given on a Sunday service, who have their single time of affirming what is true be on a Sunday morning in a church service, but not to do these things during the week. I'm on 3 medications. I am to take them each daily. I have had a couple of my times in my life where I have not been able, I have gone somewhere and not had my medications with me. And what I discovered after 4 days of not taking my once a day medications, something was amiss. Something at ease was no longer at ease. One of my medications governs my high blood pressure. I noticed the change. I noticed the absence in my body of that pill. One of my medications that holds at bay a virus in my left eye that they claim will always be there. After 3 or 4 days of not taking my daily eye drops, that eye begins to itch. It gets red. The virus is beginning to return. If I can discipline myself to take my daily medications daily, because I am aware that when I don't, something is amiss. What about my meditation time? What about my affirmation time? What are you and I meditating on the rest of the time? What are we affirming outside of our Sunday morning services? The mind never sleeps, and self-talk is always talking. What am I listening to? What am I speaking? Have I ever decided that I would introduce into my daily diet on purpose meditation, on purpose affirmation? I know for me that when I don't, something is amiss. Something more important than high blood pressure and an eye virus. Something essential. I lose my contact with the source of my power. I lose my remembrance of who I am and whose I am. I forget that the light of God surrounds me because I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love of God. The power of God protects me. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. If I don't remember this on purpose, I am sure to forget, and something is amiss. What is your ongoing meditation? What is your ongoing affirmation? I am my own project, and I am checking on what I do. As a preacher, I remind others of what to do. But as a spiritual man, I know that what you choose to do is your business. I invite, and you are the authority in your life. I like the little change to the serenity prayer that I first heard come out of my sister Crystal's mouth. God grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the people I can, and the wisdom to know that one person is me. Remember that you are your own project. Some of us are busy trying to fix those around us, trying to encourage change in those around us. I suggest we focus our attention on the changes we can make to become all we can be. It's a 24/7 thing for me. It's all my waking life project for me. To check inside. Carlos Wayne, what have you been thinking, affirming, and confessing? What have you been meditating on? What have you been making real? One of my favorite prayers to the Almighty One is found in the scriptures in the book of life. Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Plug in, stay plugged in, watch yourself. The mind never rests, it never sleeps. Self-talk always talks. Govern what it is saying. Remember who is listening. And let the words of your mouth and the meditations of your heart be acceptable in the sight of your strength and your Redeemer. Food for thought. No insistence that you do anything. Just a gentle suggestion. An important reminder. I'm done. Amen.